Hi there to all you truth-seeking beloved people watching this program. My name is Ibulama or Nikita as most people know me. To learn Bible knowledge and wisdom that most people have forgotten is a privilege. Thanks for watching this program. With me is Altizator or Ernst Jordan as most people know him. Ernst is the CEO of Baramas Tower of Light here on earth. You can read more about Ernst and the 82 books he has written on deity science, psychic and spiritual development, and many more. Do not miss out on the previous series we compiled. All these programs are on our website in the YouTube section on the main page.
Thank you, Nikita, for presenting this series with me, and a hearty welcome to all our truth seeker friends watching this program. All thanks to the Most High and the guides we appointed over me, who helped me to compile this series. For the best part of 50 years, I've been a deity scientist, researcher. Nikita, like me, she knows theology, but she prefers to research true deity science. Within 2 years, she and her spouse passed grade level 11. Barami's true deity science cum laude. And she mastered the cosmic science militia cum laude also, after successfully tapping in upon dimension 190. Light side. Nikita, I'm so proud to have you next to me, and yes, it's an honor.
Aaron, as always, it is a one big pleasure and also honor working with you. If you find this program interesting, you are welcome to subscribe to be notified of forthcoming programs. If you know people who will find these programs interesting, please feel welcome to share these programs with them. These programs contain info you have never heard of before. This is not a Christian series, but a Baramas Tower of Light series focusing on the oldest deity wisdom possible.
Yep. Now, referring to the name of this program, the reason why the Christian Church over the ages removed books from the oldest Bible containing the most important knowledge is because this wisdom knowledge is unsuitable to white Christians who prefer Satan's ways on earth. The main reason Christian churches are on earth is to keep Satan on the throne as the ruler on earth. All power on earth was given to Satan to provide this power for whomever can keep Satan on his throne here on earth.
The oldest Christian Bibles must be retranslated repeatedly to remove all in it that poses a danger to Satan's regime on earth. The books known as the Maccabees contain information on bringing a true light-side nation to a fall quickly. This is the same recipe South Africa's former white political left-wing Christian seducers used to ensure white South Africa be taken over by the ANC, against whom the white young men of South Africa fought during the apartheid era and guarded South Africa's borders.
Christians are educated by their Christian seducers as pastors, dominis, fathers, deans and reverends who study theology that has nothing to do with deity science, that these rejected books known to us as Deutero-Canonical books were not compiled under the guidance of the Holy Ghost. They who represent Satan's anti-cosmic laws were trusted by the Christian masses to decide which books in the Christian Bible contain what they needed to keep Satan on the throne.
Who are they who know nothing about true deity science or the true light side kingdoms of the Most High to decide which Bible books contain more worthwhile info and which do not? Listen to the following from the first book of the Maccabees, and if you know the South African history near the end of apartheid, or if you are an old veteran like Ernst, think back to the words used to seduce white Christian South Africans during those days.
Yes, Nikita, it was almost the same words that those seducers used. And the old South Africans will recognize it. Verse 11, in those days, reckless people emerged from Israel who persuaded many with the words, let us go and make a covenant with the people around us, for since we have separated ourselves from them, many calamities have come upon us.
This is a transgression of the cosmic law of authenticity, to keep different created seed lines apart from one another and never to hybridize. This is what the white enemies as government officials did with South Africa to get rid of apartheid during the 1980s, 90s of the previous century. White South African Christians were told by their Christian seducers that if they wanted to contribute to international sport, they must vote yes for a black and brown third world government to govern South Africa, which the white Christians did with pride. In this way, these white Christians exchanged their Most High Deutero Yahweh Goria and his cosmic laws and codes of conduct for the right to take part in international sports and follow an unfair God preferred by their churches.
Isn't it horrible? Verses 20 to 23. And after Antiochus had defeated Egypt, listen to this, he returned in the 153rd year and marched with a great army against Israel and Jerusalem. And with pride he entered the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick for the light with all its fittings, and the table with the showbread, with the cups and the dishes and the golden basins, and the veil and the crowns and the golden embellishments on the front of the temple, and removed it from there everywhere. And he took away the silver and the gold and the precious utensils, and also the hidden treasures that he found. And having taken all this, he returned to his own country, while he inflicted a great slaughter and spoke in proud pride. Then there was great mourning in Israel.
Under the leadership of the white seducers, South Africa was robbed of its pride in serving the Most High Deutero Yahweh Goria. The black and brown third world government stole South Africa's money and turned South Africa into a junk status fourth world country governed by a third world regime. The third world invaded the Christian church buildings and changed the decor to accommodate photos of great terrorist leaders.
Listen to the results. Verse 39 to 40. His sanctuary became desolate, like a wilderness. His feasts were turned into lamentation. His Sabbaths became a reproach. His honor culminated in scorn. In keeping with the earlier glory was the present desecration, and His Highness was plunged into mourning. White South Africans are currently in the same situation and still the white Christians smile with pride. Listen to what they did next in those biblical days and think back of South Africa at the end of the apartheid era.
Verse 41. And the king wrote to all his empire that all should be one people and that each should give up his religious practices. All the people fell silent by the king's order. In Israel, too many professed the religion of the king and began to sacrifice to idols, profaning the Sabbath. The king sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, intending that they would import custom foreign to the traditions of the land.
Exactly what they did in South Africa in those days. In South Africa today, that is 2024, white Christians had no problem whatsoever walking away from the Most High and His cosmic laws to pray and serve a Messiah as their God Almighty. Can you imagine it? They don't even know the hierarchy, structural and the powers attached to each level. All cosmic laws are forbidden in South Africa, of which apartheid is number one, the cosmic law of authenticity. Unfairness, corruption and murder are the new laws in South Africa.
In South Africa, Sundays became ordinary working days. The white Christians who are still mind-controlled will visit their churches on Sundays, not to serve their gods, but to give orders to their slave gods. These Christians cannot see that Satan rules. Those who do still serve Satan with pride.
Verse 54. And I say once again, listen, because it's a reminder, where did those seducers at the end of apartheid find this wisdom to bring a country like South Africa to a fall? And on the 15th day of Kislev, in the 145th year, they erected the abomination of desolation upon the altar. And in all the surrounding cities of Judah, they established supreme. And they sacrificed at the doors and in the streets. And the books of the law which they found tore and burnt them. And when a book of the covenant was found with a man, listen to this one, and it appeared that he consented in the law of the Most High, then, by the king's decree, he was sentenced to death. So they dealt with Israel at will, with all those whom they found month after month in the cities. And on the 25th day of the month, they sacrificed on the altar on top of the burnt offering altar. And by the order they brought around the lives of the women who had circumcised their children, according to the covenant of Abram and the Most High, of course. Yes, they hung their babies around their necks and killed their families, together with those who observed circumcision.
The people of Israel knew that they had ignited the wrath of the Most High by living with the foreign nation as the foreign nation. There was only one solution, and that was to isolate them from the foreign peoples and kill the foreign peoples who were under Israel. This was the only way that the Most High's wrath against Israel would end. The foreigner among Israel, who was not slain by Israel itself, fled to live as far away from Israel as possible. I hope the whites know and understand what awaits them on earth very shortly.
In the Deutero-Canonical book called Judith, in chapter 5, we read another term and condition of the Most High Yahweh Goria, if you want to be in his service. Verses 17, let's say 7 to 10 reads, and as long as the people did not sin in the face of their God, in other words, transgressing the cosmic laws, they prospered, because the God who hates injustice has been with them. But when they had deviated from the way he had ordained for them, they were very badly beaten in many ways, and were carried away into captivity, into a foreign land, and the house of their God was set to ground, and their cities were possessed of by the enemy.
The term and condition make it clear that if we live according to the cosmic laws of the Most High, Yahweh Goria, we will prosper. If not, we will suffer the wrath of the Most High.
And it's to come.
Yes. What is so difficult to understand about it? We see it every day happen around us. The Bible, plus many other books on the history of Israel, and after that, swarm with evidence that this term and condition is still intact.
Of course it is. It's been proven 100 times, million times.
Yes. Modern white people as Westerners experienced it firsthand, but still they prefer to go Satan's way away from the cosmic laws of the Most High.
Another Deutero-Canonical book containing information satanic seed line people on earth hate is the book named Additions to the Book of Esther. This, you must listen, because this is why they took these books out of the Bible.
Yes.
Listen to what is written in chapter 1 of Additions to the Book of Esther. It says, He, referring to the Most High Torah Yahweh Goria, also ordained 2 destinies, one for his people and another one for the remaining nations.
These words do not mean that only the 12 tribes of Israel scattered around the globe go to heaven and the rest of the nations are going to hell. It means that there is apartheid in the true light side kingdoms of the Most High. We who are in the service of the Most High, Torah Yahweh Goria, who live by the cosmic laws and the code of conduct of the true light side kingdoms, are gathered in one place or kingdom. The rest of the nations who serve other light side creator Hefkanams, who also lived by the cosmic laws to follow where the Most High led them, are gathered in other true light side kingdoms. Those who prefer to live against the provisions of the cosmic laws, who are at the steering wheel of their own lives here on earth, will be gathered in the true dark side vibrating kingdoms on planets there.
Satan's Christian church on earth removed the books of Enoch out of the Christian Bible for the same reason. It contains proof of apartheid in heaven. This is why why did they take it out? Because, why? They want the whole earth to become one nation.
Yes.
Under Satan's rule.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. The contents of the books of Enoch make it clear that there is apartheid in the higher vibration light side kingdoms. Since the beginning of the mankind on earth, it was the third world or lowest IQ people who could not survive without the whites' first world nations who hated apartheid. In the Deutero-Canonical book called The Wisdom of Solomon, another book removed from the Bible, we read the following, chapter 3, verse 1. The souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, meaning the Most High, and no evil will befall them. Verse 9. Those who believe in him will know the truth, and those who trust in him will remain in his love, because his favor and mercy are for the elect. But the wicked are punished according to their thinking, those who despise the peace and forsake the Lord. Chapter 5, verses 15 reads as follows. But the righteous shall live forever. With the Lord they are belonging, and the Most High take care of them. Isn't it a wonderful promise? Can we see this in history as well? The proof of this? Of course we can, worldwide.
The reason why the Satanic Christian Church removed the book called the Wisdom Book of Solomon is obvious. It contains the prayer of Solomon used to receive wisdom. For those who are interested in this prayer, we are going to share it with you. The Wisdom Book of Solomon, chapter 9, the prayer of Solomon for wisdom.
Remember, I'm going to read it now, but listen, because this is Solomon's prayer for wisdom to the Most High. God of our fathers and Lord of mercy, who made all things by becoming thou, and who in wisdom made man, would rule as man over the creatures which thou hast formed, and who would govern the world holy and real, and judging with a rightful spirit. Thou give me the wisdom that sits on thy throne, and don't you dismiss me as one of your children, for I am your servant. Remember this. You cannot be at the steering wheel of your own wife commanding him what to do. You must be in his service. He will command you what to do. For I am your servant and the son of your handmaiden, a man who is weak and lives short, and who is still weak in the knowledge of your judgment and your commandments. Because if anyone is most perfect among the sons of men, he is nevertheless deemed worthy of nothing without your wisdom. You have chosen me as your people's king, and as judge over your sons and daughters. You have told me to build a temple on your holy mountain, and an altar in the city of your indwelling, as a picture of your holy dwelling tent that you have prepared from the beginning. With you are those who know your works, who have been present when you made the universe, who know what is pleasing in your sight, and who are right according to your commandments. Your commandments, which is what? The cosmic laws. Thank you, Nikita. Do you send her from holy heaven, and you send her from the throne of your glory, that she may be with me to cooperate, and I may know you are pleasing. For she knows and comprehends all things, and she will guide me in my works with consultation and keep me in her glory. Then my works will be pleasant, and I will follow you, and be worthy of my Father's throne. For what man can know the counsel of God? Who can conceive what the Lord wants? For the mind of the mortal is uncertain, and our considerations are not of lasting, because the soul is objected to by a mortal body, and the spirit that thinks much is pushed down by the earthly tent. We hardly suspect the things of the earth, and with difficulty we discover things that are at hand. Who then will be able to trace the things of heaven? Who can know, or who can know you? If you don't give wisdom and send your Holy Spirit aloft. Thus the path of the people are fixed, and teach them what pleases you, and are saved by wisdom. This is the end of the prayer.
This prayer is unique to Solomon, the king of Israel. It will not be wise to recite the prayer as it is. You will have to transform it. You can explain yourself, who you are, as well as your vocation on earth, as well as your spiritual vocation and training for the lives hereafter. Compile your unique prayer, and is dedicated to the Most High in His name. In the next program, we share lost wisdom from the oldest Bibles on: can a person, a family, or a nation be saved as a result of wisdom, and what does the punishment of the Most High Torah Yahweh Goria entails? Until then,
Bye.